Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. It's Chit Chat Podcast. Happy Sunday to you guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And I know it's Memorial Day weekend, so I hope that you guys are tuning in today. I know you guys are probably out, got your grills popping this Sunday, and preparing for some time of fellowship with families. But I hope you got an opportunity to tune in for this important episode that we're going to have today. But I just want to take a quick moment before we end the month of May. I want to take the opportunity. May was some very important observation months. Month. It was a month of the military child and military appreciation month. So I want to make sure that our hats are off to our military families and the military kids out there. We want to put our hats off to you guys for the sacrifice for the families that they make each and every day with their loved ones who are off serving and giving their life and sacrifices to deployments and serving their country and all of that. And then I also want to take this opportunity, those who have served and lost their lives, and that's what Memorial Day is for that observance. So we want to give a moment of silence for that, for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So we'll take that opportunity and give a moment of silence for that. Now, so we're going to end that with a big note. Happy graduation to our 2026 graduates. This is the month of graduation, and how have graduation been so big? It's been so exciting seeing all of the graduates all across the timelines from kindergarten, middle school, high school, college, all of that. So we want to say congratulations to all of our 2026 graduates. We hope and pray that wherever you go on to your next endeavor, that you are blessed, that you're equipped, that you are ready to take on the challenges of life and whatever your purpose takes you. We pray that everything is set forth, that God has ordered your steps and you're ready for that next thing. So with that being said, congratulations again. We did update all our graduates that were sent in. So those who sent in graduates, please take note of those graduates. If you would like to bless those graduates that was presented on our page and was represented this week for graduation, please let us know. We'll get their information to you. We had a college graduate on there and 2 high school graduates on there. So we'll make sure that we get their information if you would like to bless those graduates. Look, a little bit goes a long way, so everybody can give something, right? Bless these graduates in a way that will give them an opportunity to take on the next endeavor in whatever they decide to do. So with that being said, I'm trying to recoup from graduation. We had graduation last week. So I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast, the pre-recorded podcast from last week. I was doing a podcast in the hotel last week, and then when I decided to pre-record it or whatever, everybody came out the hotel, being noisy all in the background. It was quiet at first, and then people just started coming out of nowhere, and I was like, where are these people coming from? So I was so annoyed, but I'm thankful that you guys appreciated the fact that I still pushed through and gave you guys an episode throughout my opportunity of being outside my element, and able to give you guys the opportunity of having an episode even on the road, because I was like, oh my God, how am I get this done? But I wanted to make sure you guys didn't miss that Sunday episode. But again, it was a busy weekend. But hats off to all our graduates, including my son. I'm so super proud of him and all of the 2026 graduates. My baby is graduated, y'all. He's off into the world, literally off into the world. And I am super proud of him and all the things that he's out there trying to explore. When I tell you he's trying to explore, he's trying to explore. So I pray that whatever I know, whatever he set his mind to, he's gonna do it because he's already shown that. But super proud of him and all that he's accomplished, and just been busy. He's a busybody, but just been busy. Was awarded a big award from Yale while he was there. One of the 5 awards that the Yale University awarded to students there at Yale, and 3 of the awards went to 3 students at his college, Branford College, and he was one of the students. And if you haven't had an opportunity, you can look on my page and hear the award that he received for that. So super excited for him about that. And so he get paid research for stuff. So he's turning his senior thesis into a documentary. So once that get published, you guys will get an opportunity to get to see that. It'll be published in Yale's library, and and we'll get to see the future philosopher Andre Thomas Jr. Whatever, but we'll see where it goes from there. But super proud of him and all the things he's done and accomplished while attending his Ivy League experience. But moving on to today's episode, y'all, I am super excited because y'all know when we have this Sunday, we always have our special guest on. And with today's episode, why feelings alone can't sustain relationships. I'm excited about this talk because, when we're talking about this, it's a real conversation. It's a conversation that needs to inspire real growth. Um, when we talk about this, we need to be talking about the things going to get down to the nitty gritty, the stuff that's going to make people really dig deep, look within themselves, look themselves in the mirror, and ask themselves the real questions. So I'm going to ask you this question before we get started. Can a relationship survive on feelings alone? Ask yourself that question. Can a relationship survive on feelings alone? Think about that. Because if we're honest, feelings change. Some days you feel deeply in love, then other days you're annoyed. Some days you're frustrated, you feel disconnected. And then sometimes you're tired, you're stressed, or you questioning everything. But does that mean that love is gone? Sometimes, we are unpacking all these feelings and emotions, and we're trying to feel like, we're trying to understand, is this sustaining our relationship? Is our relationship healthy and lasting? Is this relationship a lasting love? What is it? What's the requirement for us? Is it something deeper? What is the mindset, the intention? What's the discipline that is required for me? What's the emotional and maturity and the commitment that is required for us to sustain this relationship? Because all these feelings exist. And so because all these feelings exist, does that mean love is gone? So can a relationship survive on feelings alone? So feelings are real, but they're not always reliable. So we're going to talk about that today. And we got somebody here to help us dig deep into this conversation about why feelings alone can't sustain relationships. And none other than our love doctor, Mr. Juan Lee. We're gonna bring him on and break this down for us like he does every time he's on with us. Hey, Mr. Juan.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. Look, I know you're ready for this. When we
This is
talk
this
about
is
mindset and we asking these kind of questions, I know you are like ready for this kind of question. Why feelings alone can't sustain relationships?
hey, that's let's start by saying that we've got to remember or think about that as it relates to how our culture has raised, how we've been raised in this culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we look at the divorce rate and we look at how we promote love in our society. And that shouldn't be a question as it relates to why is it that long-term relationships are not being accomplished long term. You know, And it really starts with choices.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with purpose. Every relationship should have purpose. Whether it's professional or personal, should have purpose. And and then, whereas you said earlier, everybody has emotions and feelings, but emotions or feelings are momentary.
Mm-hmm.
They're momentary. They will be here in a moment and gone the next moment.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you want to build anything on.
Mm.
It's not something that's sustainable. And so when we think about long-term success, we have to think about what does it take for long-term success, for a long-term relationship to last. If we don't set that goal or that vision, that purpose as something long-term, it's very likely that it's easy for us to continue the mindset of, you know, feelings and emotions of holding it till it lasts, as long as it lasts, you know. But the thing about it is that it's not going to be sustainable, because in that moment, it causes us to do things that we don't want to do, and that is to react.
Mm.
It causes us to react. Reaction is something that is allows us to be comfortable, because we are afraid of something and we will react. We are disappointed in something, that would cause us to react. But the opposite of that is what we're looking for if we're talking about sustainability over a long period of time. We have to want to be able to see the longer bit. We can't use a short type of concept for a long-term relationship. And so when we feel like that it's not working, why isn't it working? We've got to
Right.
ask that question. Why is it not working?
And when we
And
talk about looking at something deeper, when we talk about the mindset, um, and how it requires something deeper, like your mindset and having intentionality and discipline and maturity, because maturity is very important, and stuff like commitment. And I know some people hate that C word because and I feel like you can't have commitment if you don't have the maturity, because a lot of times when people want to um, be committed to something, if they don't have the maturity, you're not going to have the commitment, because you know how do I expect commitment from you when you're not mature enough to have the capacity to be committed?
well, and that's very good, very, very true. And the thing about commitment in a relationship is that the commitment is to building.
Mm-hmm.
It's to building, and that's work. That's work. You've
And
got to put
requires
some
work.
work. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It requires work to build something. And you have to be committed to that, because you can't all of a sudden decide that you don't want to, you're not going to build anything by stopping and starting. You got to be committed to it. And when you're committed to it, you'll go regardless as to what the situation or the circumstances are, you're going to continue to build. You're going to continue to build. I mean, can you imagine being a construction worker and all of a sudden you work outside and you can be like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. I
Yeah.
don't feel like it. I mean, it don't matter if it's 100 degrees out there in construction work. He going out there to work.
Right. Are
He's
you in
going
the
out there to
middle
work.
of a house and you be like, yeah, I think I'm done right now. I think the house is
Yeah,
good. And you in
yeah.
and the house ain't finished. You
No,
know.
no.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't look at it as what the finish line is, your commitment has to be in line with the finish line. And you've got to set the finish line before you start building.
Right.
You just gonna decide to go, oh, well, you know what? I think half a house is gooder than that. That's fine. That's fine. You ain't committed to, if that's what you committed to, a long-term relationship, that means you're gonna be constantly building all the way. Because it ain't finished being built until it's finished. And
Right.
it's a difference between quitting and finishing something.
Oh, I like
Finishing,
that.
finishing is that it's better than it was before you started.
Mm. It's almost like
Quitting,
home improvement.
yeah, and finishing, I mean, quitting is like you left it unfinished. You
Yeah.
left something before before it was completed.
Oh, yeah. That's
Before it was
good.
completed, meaning that the potential for that relationship is still yet to be determined, and you quit on it.
Mm.
And you quit on it because it got too heavy, it got too hard. That means the commitment that was based on conditions and not the end result, not the
Right. You wanted an
finish.
easy way out, or an easy pass, or easy, you chose an
Again,
easy route or easy person that's gonna let you, they're not gonna hold you accountable or something. Yeah.
all of those things are a part of the work. All of
Yes.
those things are a part of the work. And we have to realize that, if we're not willing to do the work, let's think about the fact of what does it take
Ooh.
to have the kind of relationship that you desire. You can't do it with feelings alone. You
Mhm.
can't do it with emotions, because again, they are going to change.
Exactly.
They are only short lasting.
Right.
And so it only, what feelings and emotion does, it makes you feel good for the moment, right there, right then. But the opposite of that, and that's the thing that I want to talk about, is instead of reacting, we want to be able to respond.
Mm.
Respond means that you're going to be willing to do what it takes to invest the emotional or the intellect. You're going to pause. You're going to think clearly. You're
Mm.
going to think wisely as it relates to the impact of the moment on the outcome of your relationship or the results of your relationship. You're thinking about the big picture and not the moment. That's something that we really, in so many things, so many instances, we miss the bigger picture because the moment is so big. We allow the moment to consume us.
I like that because that lets us know, even with maturity, that lets us know in responding that I know that feelings matter and your feelings are valid, and I'm not ignoring your emotions. Um, but I'm responding and not reacting.
I am going to take all of that into consideration
Right.
I respond.
And not
Before I
react.
respond.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: it takes both parties to be able to, at least somebody's got to come to that realization. But when both parties can come to that realization, they can quickly get to resolution so that they can move on. Because again, building is about growing. Growing takes resistance, takes challenges to grow. And that's what you're being presented with now. If you never get to a resolution, you've missed an opportunity to grow.
Mm.
You missed an opportunity to grow. And the emphasis is not on the situation, it's the growth. You want the
Right.
growth. You don't want
Right.
this. There's going to be another situation coming.
Right. And you want to develop, you want to be able to be developed during that time. So when the next situation comes, it's like, oh, been here, done that. I'm ready.
It, it it's coming. It's
You're
coming.
right.
It's now, here's the point: because you know it's coming, you want to take every opportunity to grow from
Right.
every one that happens, because guess what? The next one's going to be a little bit more challenging because it was preceding the one that you're on, the next one.
Yeah.
That's the point. And again, remember that point right there as relates to something that we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have a history with this growth process and something big comes up, it makes it really difficult to be able to take that growth step when you've not
Right.
been experiencing some
Right.
smaller ones, because some big ones come and you be like, whoa,
Right.
whoa. And I don't have any experiences with any little ones where we can make it. You know, how then do I look at this? That's why I said that it can be done, but it's a very difficult thing because you don't got any experiences with what growth looks like.
Right. And I think oftentimes too many people confuse like all these emotional highs with sustainable love because they don't have those moments like you're talking about. They don't have those growth moments in between.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they confuse all these emotional highs with those sustainable love. Like, oh, we've been through, all these emotional highs, but you ain't been through nothing to help you sustain yourself through the real growth process.
But
you know,
that's what I'm saying. Emotional
yeah,
highs are that's just what I'm saying. It's these feelings that we have been taught that means something as it relates to
right.
longevity. No, it's a moment.
Mhm. Baby, them just
There,
butterflies.
look, that's a moment, and you know what? And granted, those are good moments. Those are things that you experience, but
Right,
you can't hang your hat on them because they're
right,
moments. They're
right.
moments. So
Yeah, 'cause
that
real
being
life gonna enter that and change all that concept real quick.
Yeah, and the thing about it, the difference between a love mindset, and that's basically what we're talking about here, is the difference between a love mindset and an emotional mind and feelings concept. We've
Mhm.
built one or the other, and what I've been suggesting is that we need to take on love as being more than just a feeling and an emotion, but a mindset, something that facilitates growth rather than facilitating comfort, because
Yeah,
comfort will come as a result of clarity when you have growth. And
right,
that's what we're but we have to want to look past that, because the thing that we do when we just want comfort is we want to feel good. We want to get the things that we want to get out in conversations. We want to say what we want to say, and we want to make sure that we're not uncomfortable. And that's protecting ourselves.
right.
But a love mindset doesn't matter. It does A love mindset is not a it's not afraid to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's not afraid to be uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable will produce growth.
yeah.
Being
It
uncomfortable will produce growth.
it gives that vulnerability. It opens you up.
Again, I say so many times something that President Obama used to always says: in those moments of discomfort,
Mhm.
they're teachable moments. They're teachable moments. And if we don't want to repeat them, we learn something from them.
Mhm.
We learn something from them. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. Is it Maybe we're not planning for the situations to happen, but when they do from them, confront them. Don't run
Right,
from them. Don't run from them, confront them. And therein lies some of the biggest challenges that we have, is just confronting them,
right.
confronting challenges.
Yeah,
Hey,
my old pastor used to always say, "You can't conquer what you won't confront."
it's impossible. It's
Right.
impossible because guess what? It takes work, and it's intentional work. It's
Mhm.
intentional work. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's understanding pressure, understanding that that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about, is being able to withstand the various types of pressure, and understanding that it's for a purpose. We're gonna here, you've heard the thing about diamonds are made, but kind of when it comes under pressure, the more the pressure,
Mhm.
the better the diamond, the clearer the diamond. That's what we want to be able to do, is to produce that kind of diamond that we can take the pressure, so that
Yeah.
we can make that kind of appearance in our lives.
Yeah.
So
Because I mean, that's what real life does. You talking about bills, you talking about kids, you talking about career stress, mental health, loss, growth, conflict, all these things. That's real life stuff that puts us up under that pressure.
absolutely. And it's and thing about it is that in many cases we know those types of pressures. We are
Mhm.
familiar with those type of pressures. It's those unknown, those unexpected, those things that
Right.
come from places. that we don't understand. Where did this come from? How did
Right.
this happen?
Like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's those that really sets us back and go like, man,
Catch us off guard. Yes.
yeah. But we have to realize and understand is that life is about the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the unknown because tomorrow is gone. You have the moment, but you have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. And so we have to understand is the only way that we can prepare for tomorrow is to take full advantage of today. And that's how we do it, is because every day is going to produce some type of challenge. We just got to be able to recognize it, be able to see it, and decide that we're going to grow from it. Doesn't have to be mind-boggling. It don't have to be earth-shaking. It just has to be something that says, look, I'm better today than I was yesterday. I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. I'm going to learn something today that I didn't know yesterday.
Right.
Those are choices. Those are choices. That's a mindset.
Yeah. One of the things that I know that was very important to me, and has been important to me that I always addressed in relationships that I've been in is addressing to a person or my partner that when feelings fade for a season, what's going to keep you here? Like, I need to know because I'm not looking for a partner who I need to know that if sickness comes, if hard hard times come, where are you going to be? Because at the end of the day, people say they love you and all this kind of stuff, but the moment those hard times come or you fall ill and they got to feed you or wipe your butt or whatever the case may be, people be like, oh, I ain't signed up for this. I'm out the door. And they on to the next woman or the next man or whatever the case may be. And that love is showcased right there, what they was capable of. And I'm looking for somebody when that season comes, where's your feelings? Where is like what's going to keep you there when the feeling fades for that season? What's going to keep you there when I'm not looking cute? When I'm no longer size 10 and all this kind of stuff, what is going to keep you there? And so those things are important because those things change and people, in relationship, that's important for people to know and be concerned with when it comes to being committed or having a partner or whatever, because people get so caught up in the external and in things, outside in the physical, and then they don't be caught up on what's internal, and then they miss out because when things like this do happen, the internal is missed, and because that's missed, when things happen, that person showcase who they really are, and then they mask this whole time, and then the mask fall off when real situations happen or real situations pop up, and then you be like, whoa, I didn't know this person was like this, or I didn't know this who, I really had or whatever. And that's the sad situation for most people. Did we lose Mr. Juan? We'll wait to see if he reconnects here. But chime in if you guys are listening. What has resonated with you guys? Because Mr. Juan talked about mindset. And one of the things that he mentioned about responding over reacting, that was very important to me, because when I talked about some of the things that mattered most about, being mature and having commitment, and, when you're being mature about something, responding over reacting is very important. So as you're he's coming back on, as you're listening to this, chime in and let us know what has resonated with you so far in the comments as he's coming back on. So we would love to hear what you guys what has resonated with you guys so far. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what that was.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
it was interesting because I could hear everything that you were saying.
Oh, okay. You must have went backstage or something.
My camera went out and I was like, where did I go? Okay, but I could
Oh.
hear everything that you were saying.
Oh, wow. Well, no problem. No problem. I was trying to, keep it going for you, but I was trying to see if people would chime in and let them know what has resonated so far with them, what you said. And I was talking about how I always take notes when you're here, but I was talking about how to respond over reacting because, that's one of the things, I'm learning in my healing journey that, because, you always look, hindsight is always 2020 when you've gone through things and you always want to know, I'm the kind of person, I'm not always trying to target on like what the other person, did or whatever, or, I want to know what I can do better because I want to be a better version of me. So forget that person. I'm not looking at what that person have done, what they doing, whatever. I'm trying to be a better version of me. So I'm always like trying to be a better version of me, re-examining myself and all that kind of stuff. So respond over reacting, I think, is very important to me because I want to be a better communicator. I want to be better at listening and responding over reacting because I know in the past I have very much so reacted. um, and I think it was more so because of where I was in that season, but because the maturity has set in now, and I'm in a different season, I think the responding over reacting will probably be more of a thing of mine now that I will probably walk more into. So I definitely wrote that down in my notes that I'm gonna be putting in my journal. But that resonated for me. So
you said something very important because all of these things are dependent upon ourselves wanting to be better. I mean, if we don't want to be better, all of this is for naught because the only reason that we're able to stay focused, and that's a very important point, on something greater than the moment is that we want to be better for the future. We want to be better for the future. If that's why we want to grow. If we arrive, if we've gotten there, if we feel like it's nothing that we can't do anything to better ourselves, then growth isn't we don't see growth as necessary.
Right.
But that's the whole purpose of this thing. It's driven by the fact that we want to be better. We want to be better.
Yeah.
And if not for myself, but also for the person, whoever's around me, because my ability to, the better I am, the more I have to offer, the better equipped I am to offer what I have. And when we realize what we have is where we gain our fulfillment is the ability to give that which we have to those that are in need of it, which brings us fulfillment. And so it's that idea of being better, growing is what we're after. And so, not being emotional allows us to see the outcome, the future, as more important than the moment. See, our sacrifice, you said, and I have to thank you, and I don't know if you know, but I'm a veteran. And so for those that you talk about sacrifice, you've got to be willing to sacrifice for something greater than. And that's what it takes to respond versus react. Because the reaction is the moment. But if I want the future, I want something greater, I've got to respond. I've got to be intentional. I got to think about what it is it's going to take that's going to protect that greater good.
I like how you broke that down. Reaction is the moment, but responding is the intentional, for something greater.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
like that point.
But yeah, it's so important that we know that though. And in the process of doing this, um, we realize that emotions can collapse,
Mm,
but doing and it here is when they collapse, when things get overbearing.
ooh, yeah.
Your emotions can't hold up the kinds of trials that can come your way. It just doesn't stand up to it.
Right.
Your feelings don't stand up, but a mindset creates stability. It creates this comfort that
Hmm.
allows you to see beyond the situation. Clarity. It gives you clarity. It gives you mental, it
Yeah.
gives you emotional balance. It gives you consistency, resilience. And here's the one that I like: inner peace.
Ooh, yes.
Inner peace in the midst of a challenge is what a love mindset gives you.
Mm,
That's that's what we're looking for in the midst of a storm, is that
yeah.
ability to have inner peace, that clarity, that ability to say that whichever way this thing goes, I'm going to be able to withstand whatever that flow brings.
Yeah.
So, you
I
know,
want to ask
these,
you this because I know a lot of people probably um, deal with this, and I know a few people personally who are dealing with some situations. Um, there are people that are committed, that can be committed and still have difficult moments. Um, there are people who love someone deeply and still feel disconnected sometimes. I think sometimes the danger comes when people start making a lot of permanent decisions based off what we're talking about, emotions. And so, what do you say to people who are experiencing turmoil in these relationships and these situations right now, because they're committed but still having these difficult moments, and they're loving somebody deeply but they're disconnected or feeling disconnected.
one of the things that's overlooked in a lot of relationships is how important it is to be intentional in that connective process, in being connected. Because like you said, sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Hmm.
But if you don't know the value of something that's necessary, it's very easy to go without it or to do without it. You've got to be able to be intentional in that process of connecting in spite of the challenge. I mean, you know, the process of being able to know what works for you in any type of relationship is that you continue to make the adjustments until you find what it takes that works for you. There is no formula for this thing called a relationship for everybody. The people that are involved have to be, committed to
Right,
doing whatever it takes to find what it takes to work. You know,
right.
you got people that work different shifts. You got people who work night shift, day shift. You got people that work, in the military, people that are, you were talking about families and stuff, ain't
Hmm.
even in the same country. How do they keep that connection? It's got to be intentional.
Right.
It's got to be intentional. You can be in the same house and not be connected. You can be in it all day. You know, my wife and I, we both retired now. And the sense of the matter is that we're reestablishing, having to redefine what connection looks like. because it's been, I used to work a different shift. She
Mhm.
used to work days. I used to work evenings. It takes work. And the thing about it is that it takes a constant working effort to find that at this stage, like you said, in this stage of life, what is it that works? How does this work now? It
Right.
doesn't, we can't use the old formula. It's over. That's past. Those days are gone. What are we going to do? And guess what? Every day is intentionality. We have to be
Mhm.
intentional.
Right. Yeah, I like that because, I wrote down, love is a decision. Um, I said love is a decision. The feeling brought together, um, but the decision, how did I put it? Love is the decision that the feeling brought together, but the intention is what's gonna make it, sustainable. So,
But that's where your work is.
yeah,
That's where your work is. And I hate to say it in the sense that nothing worth having is worth it. You got to work at it.
yeah,
And it's going to look different every day. And
right.
that's why it's so important to understand that the commitment precedes anything, because guess what? You're going to need a you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Mm,
You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. But here's the point: in a relationship, everybody wants to feel comfortable, secure. Everybody wants to feel enough vulnerability to be able to be honest and free to speak, to be able to let their guards down. And if you don't feel that, then then everything is so subjective to what's the next thing that's going to happen.
right,
Will that next thing be the thing that breaks the camel's back? You know, that's what you're trying to avoid, is that there is no next thing that can break the camel's back. It doesn't
right,
matter what the next thing is.
right. Because
We,
yeah, because if we're talking about everything being intentional, everything is based off choices, and those choices are what sustains the relationship. I'm choosing communication. I'm choosing grace. I'm choosing to be understanding. I'm choosing healing. I'm choosing accountability. We're choosing each other, even when life gets messy, hard, tough, whatever the case may be. I'm making the choice. Are you making a choice? It's a choice. It's
that
intentional.
that's what love is.
Right.
That's what love is. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
that's the love is a decision. I made the
Yeah,
decision. You are my choice. If I'm your choice, we're choosing communication. We're choosing grace. We're choosing this, you know.
that's where comes in my 7 attitudes of love. The
Hmm.
7 attitudes of love is the actional behavior that allows you to be committed to that in an unselfish way, to everything, to every decision that you make. It's not going
Right,
to be just something that's for the moment. It's for the long term. It's for
right,
committed to something bigger than yourself.
right.
And
You
that's
was
and
that
that's
song, Choosy Lover? Choosy Lover. Yes.
listen to you going back in the day. I,
Yes.
but
Yes.
but but
Make that choice, baby.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It starts up here. It starts
Right.
up there. It's not in that moment. It's not that, at the club.
Right. Because that's the sustainability of it. Us choosing each other every day. When things look good, bad, and ugly, look, that's what the
Yeah,
grace spirit is. You look.
every day, every day, every day. It's
Yeah.
the ability to understand that I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and we're gonna be in this thing together, not perfect.
Yeah. Because if love only survived us when things was good, nobody would survive love.
It wouldn't be
Nobody
love.
would love wouldn't even be survivable if your love only survived when things felt good or was good.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Love in and of itself. That's what I'm really trying to appeal to people, is that love in and of itself is undefeated. Okay, love never fails. If
Yes.
we if we take on that type of mentality,
Mhm.
then you really begin to see how valuable love is. It's like when you say love, there is nothing that you can say never fails. But when we say love never fails, we really make a decision to make love not fail.
Right.
Make love not fail.
Right.
That's a choice. And I
I
think
mean,
when we
we
see that,
working. We putting in that work.
we're having that allegiance to something greater than ourselves and going to say we're going to make sure that
Hmm.
love never fails. We're going to make sure that, so that means that I'm going to do, but here's the thing, by all means necessary, I'm going to
Right.
do whatever it takes
Right.
so that love doesn't fail.
Right. Right. I like that. I like that. I like that. It ain't perfection, but it never fails.
Never
It
fails.
ain't
It won't quit.
pretending, but it never fails.
It ain't gonna quit. It's never fails.
Right. I love it. I love it.
And here's the thing: you can't. Nothing is over until you. Here's the thing: you can't fail unless you quit.
Right.
Listen, you can't fail until you quit.
Right.
Because if you finish, you bring it to completion.
Right.
The only way you can fail is to quit.
Right. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer in there, Mr. Juan. You know, with our talk, I want us to be clear. Staying committed does not mean tolerating toxicity now. We're not saying, stay committed to something that's going to be, tolerating toxicity or abuse or manipulation or repeated disrespect or narcissistic behavior, lack of accountability, all that stuff. No, we're not saying that. We're talking
And that's
about sustainable love, equal, treatment, all that kind of stuff. We're not talking about things that's going to cause you this kind of treatment here that I just mentioned. We're not, if you feel like you're tolerating toxicity and abuse and manipulation, no, we're not asking you to tolerate that
and
for the sake
that's
of
very
love. Mhm.
but that's the whole point. If that's in it at all, love is not there.
Right.
And
We're
that's
not
that. So
romanticizing suffering. No.
no, so no, love is not. See, again, love is not having to put up with any of that to justify the love.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Now,
If
there's a
you see,
difference between working through challenges and surviving dysfunction.
if you see that, no, and you really have to, and this is why it's so very important to be, when we talk about being bettering
Hmm.
ourselves. If we're not, oh, if we don't know ourselves enough to know that that's not acceptable, then love is going to have it's going to be a problem in the process of being able to identify love, because it's going
Right.
to be it's going to be skewed.
Hmm.
It's going to be skewed, and that's why it's so important to be able to know self, to know yourself, because when you
Hmm.
enter into relationships, you've got to understand. That's why I said the purpose is everything. If you get in a relationship and you have, professional or personal, if the end result or the outcome or the purpose of the relationship is not clear going in, it's not something that you need to get into. It has to be extremely clear. Understand, if this is just something that you in the moment, okay, that's what it is, the moment. But if you go into it and say, look, I'm looking for something long term, and I don't see that long term. And here's the thing: there's no challenges in getting to long term, because guess what? It's long term. I'm
Right.
not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry to get to a long term. But the fact is that it's how we process every event that goes on that journey of being long term that's going to determine how I'm going to be pursuing my journey in
Yes.
this long term experience. So be clear, understand, make the right choices. You have to
Mhm.
decide who you're getting in a relationship with, and any kind of abuse, love ain't nowhere near it.
Nah,
Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
absolutely. Totally agree. Totally. See, the hour go by so fast. But so Mr. Juan, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to wrap up with some last minute remarks on this. I know we can talk about this forever because I love it. But give you an opportunity to have some closing remarks and last minute remarks on this great topic.
Well, I tell you, I can just start by saying this is that Love Made Simple, a book that I wrote a couple years ago. It's about inner peace, contentment, and success. And it talks about actually having the right mindset in all areas and stages of your life. And I am just releasing a course. It's an electronic course. You can find it on my website. It is a course that's called the Mini Experience, the Love
Mm.
Mindset Mini Experience. And if you'd like to support my journey, the Clear Journey, it's interesting. You have Clear Journey up here, not my name, but that's okay. Clear Journey is it's about a nonprofit, and if you want to help support us, by all means, go over to clearjourney.org and you can look and you can find the Love Mindset Mini Experience. You start over by taking a quiz, find out where you are, and look through to build that mindset so that you can navigate life more successfully, because that's what this is all about. And not only in personal relationships, but in professional relationships also. It's to have the right mindset, the mindset that allows you to navigate life more successfully, no matter what the situation is. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, because the
Right.
love mindset allows you to grasp and gather everything that you need in every stage, preparing you for the next stage of life. Whether you're a teenager, a young adult, or a senior, it's all in there. If you don't have the book, you can pick up the book. All of the proceeds of any of this stuff goes to the nonprofit. So you can get the book on Amazon. It's on Audible. It's you can get it anyway. If you want to listen to it, you can get it. All of it's there. But that's in a nutshell what the love mindset is all about.
I
Take
love it.
those things.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm in a different season of my life, and so I'm definitely have to check it out because I'm exploring different things currently. So yeah, I'm curious to see where I am.
Well, good. And the thing about it is, it's a process that allows you to recognize where you are and then
Hmm.
move into the process of it. It's all about self-awareness. It's
Hmm.
the more you know about yourself, the better you are equipped to make decisions that are less reactive and more
And more
responsive.
responsive. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Good, awesome. Look, so if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from today's conversation is this. Feelings may start relationships, but mindset sustains them. Love requires intention. Healthy love requires maturity. And lasting love, well, it requires two people willing to grow. Mr. Juan stated that to us over and over again. So before walking away because things don't feel the same or you're in your feelings, ask yourself this. Is this a hard season or a harmful situation? There's a difference. Thank you for joining another episode of Chit Chat Podcast. And remember, love is a decision. The feeling got you there, but the decision and the intention will sustain you there. Responding over reacting is your lesson for today. So remember that. I am your host, Shadonna Thomas, reminding you to heal, grow, love intentionally, and never settle for confusion over clarity. Until next time, keep choosing growth. We will see you guys next Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you. I guess next month. Will it be next month? Yeah, it'll be next month. Um, no, I think we got the 31st. It'll be Jada's birthday. Next week is our executive producer's birthday. She turns 26 next Sunday. So we'll be celebrating her birthday next week. So you guys send a shout out to our executive producer, Jada. She'll be turning 26. We'll be celebrating her next week and then the next 2 weeks because we'll be on a day trip with her. But yeah, she's making it all about her. But nevertheless, we're gonna be celebrating her with some friends and stuff, and then some more friends and family. So but yeah, you guys shout her out this week and next Sunday for her birthday as she turns 26 or whatever. Oh, to be 26 again. But that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions for Mr. Juan, you guys can check him on Clear channel, Clear Journey channel.
Clearjourney.org. Or you can just
Clearjourney.org. Yes.
Or you can just reach me out on email at juan@clearjourney.org. Email, or you can go over to the website.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he's with us once a month, every third Sunday,
Fourth
right?
Sunday.
Fourth Sunday.
Fourth Sunday.
Fourth Sunday of the month. So please, I know everybody look forward to seeing him. So please join us every fourth Sunday of the month. If you want to catch him on Chit Chat Podcast. If not, you can catch him on his channel where he's doing it's still Friday night or Saturday when you do your episode.
Here it is now. It's
Okay.
coming up this Saturday. It's going to be this Saturday.
Okay.
And you can go to the website and it's to the event. It's the Real Life Talk. It's this Saturday. Just register. And we having Real Life Talk coming on. It's the Zoom call. Everybody
Okay.
comes on, add their piece. We're just there having to help people navigate life more successfully using the love mindset. So come on out, add your voice to our platform.
And it's free, guys. Go on. Yeah, go on, have a talk. I've gotten on there before, real good stuff, added input or whatever. So, if you got the time, jump on there. Good stuff.
This Saturday, yeah. It's closed. It's not live. So all you got to do is register, come on. You ain't got to worry about seeing yourself all over the internet. It's going to be just us on there talking. Right. Me and my co-host, Dr. James Brockington is going to be on there, and we have a great time.
Yeah, real smart guy. Yeah, some old wisdom. I love it.
Hey, it's suitable for all seasons.
Yes, I love it. I was a sponge. I was taking it all in. But thank you again, Mr. Juan. We'll see you again next month. But I appreciate you. Okay. I have joined you in the retirement world. So officially from the 30th of April. So
welcome.
I know. I've been enjoying my naps at 1 o'clock with the dogs every day for the last couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that. And I'm ready to dive into the next endeavor that I'll be doing, joining here, starting my business. And right. So that'll be joining up here in the next 6 months in Alabama. But I'm super excited about that and what I'll be doing there in Huntsville or whatever. So thank you. So got the baby out the way from college. So, I'm done with the kids, and now it's time for mama to do the next part of her life and build a legacy for the grandkids and all of that. So, but I'm pretty excited. Yes. So, but thank you again. You guys have a blessed week. Enjoy the rest of your holiday for tomorrow. You guys be safe, and congratulations again to our 2026 graduates, and continue to do great things. Go and be great. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you later.